Hi, Prasanta Bhattacharya, sir. My name is Josna. Welcome to Frontiers Media, sir. We are so happy to have you on board today. Today we have Prasanta Bhattacharya with us. So our audience would like to know who is Prasanta Bhattacharya. Tell me something about yourself, who you are.
Josna ma'am, thank you. Thank you for quick intro and very good evening. Let me give a glimpse of about myself, right, before we get into this more deep dive session. Myself, Prasanta Bhattacharya, currently based out of Hyderabad. And Jyotsna, I'm a Bengali, born and brought up in West Bengal,
Okay.
and had great time during my childhood with my joint family, teachers, friends during school days. I did my engineering from one of the oldest engineering college in India,
Okay.
and by profession, by education, I was a mining engineer who happened to come into information technology industry almost 2 decades back. I worked in Calcutta almost 12 to 13 years before moving to Hyderabad, and I'm still with the information technology industry,
Okay.
working in IT field. And like most of other Bengalis, right, I'm very fond of music,
Oh.
literature.
Mhm.
I love to watch football and cricket. Uh,
Okay.
Durga Puja, Calcutta Book Fair are some of the things very special in my
Rasgulla
memory.
too. Rasgulla too. People say.
Yeah, Rasagula too, right? You're right. And street food, and especially the kind of adda you see in West Bengal, right? Be it in a club or in a tea shop, on the roadside with newspaper. I think those are golden days, right? So that's how I was born and brought up in Bengal. Right now, other than work, whenever I get some time, I try to write something, whatever comes in my mind.
Okay.
And last year, I became a published author as well through this book, Am I What I Want to Be? And outside work and writing book, I already also founded a charitable organization almost 10 years back, Narendrapur Pathshala Education Society.
I have research about this. I will ask question about your.
Definitely, definitely. So those are the some of things. And on personal side, my mom stays in Calcutta. My brother, sister, they're still in Calcutta. My uncle, aunt, and in Hyderabad, I'm living with my wife and my son. That's a small family in Hyderabad. So that's about me, Jyotsna. In short, if you want to know about me.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you so much. It's a lovely introduction.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, our audience would like to know about your book. Am I what I want to be? So, could you please just brief what is your book?
Let me first show you the book, if I get a chance. Can you see the book
Yeah.
cover page, right? Okay. So I'll give you some claims. So this book, right, Jyotsna, the Am I What I Want to Be, is definitely going to connect you to your past
Okay.
and remind you about certain aspirations that you had before but might have gone under the cover.
Okay.
Now, during our journey, what happens, we may lose focus, get derailed due to change in priorities, but the book will remind us what we want to achieve in life, and more importantly, what will make us happy. Now, ever imagine that you have no time left in hand, and you really did not try those little things that you always wanted to do, right? We
Yeah.
all can do small things with great love and passion,
Yes.
and that's what keeps us going and makes us so happy, right? And when it spreads, the good thing spreads, and many others start doing them, the combined effort and accomplishment leads to much larger impact in society. Now,
Okay.
in this book, Am I What I Want to Be, if you read it, Jyotsna, you will experience such a dream journey touching the lives in every day ordinary life, and you will see the magical power of staying grounded and ordinary, doing small things together and exploring the inner sense of purpose and accomplishment. Now, end of the book, the question to our inner being is, am I what I want to be? I feel as an author of this book, I feel the answer is known, whether we like it or not. We choose to be who we are. We choose our future. And what remains, I feel, is a journey. And I'll not speak much about this. I would rather allow you to experience that journey as you read the book, Jyotsna.
And you chose to be an author at this age at this age?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So my next question to you. So, am I what I want to be? Depicts a journey of seeking who you are, and as like you said, your path of doing something achieve which you left behind in your life, like smallest things. So, how do you come up with the idea of this book?
Yeah.
So, what made you to write this book, basically?
I got it. So, firstly, this is my first book, Jyotsna, and I always felt in my life from the very beginning that one day I would write something. And there's a reason for that. The reason is during my school college days, I used to feel that a lot of things we can easily connect through the written communication, right? And it's easy to express yourself. And just by writing few pages, you can send a lot of message to the readers, right? Very easily. That always made me feel that one day, I did not know when the day will come, but one day I would definitely start writing something. And it took a long time to really start. 2 years back, when I started writing this book, I was thinking, what should I start with? And this is going to be the first book, right? Now, I felt I should write something based on the experience that I have gone through, right? Honestly, I have met many sets of people spanning across different demographies in various sectors of societies. I have seen people and their struggle. I've seen dream, journey, and life. And most of the things have really touched me very deeply. Now, more importantly, many people and their actions motivated me in doing small things with great passion and love. End of the day, I feel it's all about how much you try, Jyotsna, how much you try and then how much you could accomplish with that effort, right? But before it is too late, I thought we must rethink and realign our journey to ensure we try the small things, right? Even an ordinary person like me, I strongly feel even an ordinary person like me can achieve a lot through the power of consistent effort. Now, you might wonder that why some people become like this, right? We all are fan of Sachin Tendulkar, Roger Federer. If you are a bit oldies, you might know Diego Maradona kind of people. Many of us are fan of Barack Obama, for example. Even in our country, there are so many superheroes, right?
Yeah.
Now, not that everyone will be like that, right? Hardly one or two persons name, but if you really see this world, see this planet as a whole, everyone has a big story, Jyotsna, right? Every human being has a big story. It's just that maybe their range and the scale is not that big enough for other people to know. But if you really focus on their individual space, and the kind of accomplishment they have made, right? It's tremendous, right? So my point of view is not necessarily everyone will reach that height of success, but end of the day, if you all try your best, right? And if you try doing things with great love and passion, however small is that, that creates a lot of positive impact in other people's life, right? It doesn't matter how big it is. What matters is whether you are happy with that kind of contribution or not. And as long as you are happy of whatever you are doing, right, and that encourages people, right? The person who is actually selling the newspaper on the platform, for example, or just selling a cup of tea, he or she is doing that for the sake of the family.
Yeah.
Now you may not care about that person, or I may not care about the person, but his family members do care a lot, right? So that's the kind of story I have spoken about in this book that motivated me, because I personally feel everyone in this world has a power to bring some change. And you can bring the change only when you start doing things, however small is that. If you read my story, there's a central character named Akash. Now, through that is a symbolic character. He's like me, he's like you, right? He's a very ordinary person, but if you see his activities, the way he starts doing things, the way he encourages others to come forward and contribute, I think that makes a huge impact to our society and nation. That's the bottom line of this book, and that's what motivated me to write a book about this. Incidentally, when I started writing 2-3 years back, it was not a pandemic time, Jyotsna. It was before pandemic. I was talking about the kind of boy Akash is, the kind of contribution he's doing, the kind of good work he does in the society. And through his work, his friend circle gets motivated. Everyone gets charged up and starts doing small things, but in a great passion and love, But when pandemic started, I felt, whatever I was actually trying to write is actually true. If you see this last 1.5 years, Jyotsna, in your circle, right, in your school life or college life, in your society, you see there are many Akash, right? There's these doctors, the nurses, the doctors, the policemen, the security guard, everyone is an Akash in my eyes, right? So the way they are contributing for the society, I think the pandemic proved there are many Akash in the real life. And I'm really proud that I brought that topic even before the pandemic started. It's very relevant in today's world. And I'm sure it will encourage a lot of people to come out of the cell and contribute and do their part for the society. Yeah.
It is amazing. You just got me speechless right now. And I feel like that you just poured your heart out into your book. It's moving story. So my next question to you. So there are a lot of people out there who have been doing work that they don't enjoy, right? So have you ever wondered why I am doing something I don't want to do?
Yep. So it's very easy to say, I know people say, including me, that do whatever you love to do, or rather do whatever you enjoy most, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the most idealistic situation you could be, right? Most ideal situation is I love something, I'm passionate about something, and I do that job. Not that everyone is so fortunate, right? Now, people might say, if you have a wish or will, you can always do it. Yes, I do agree. But the point is, even if you at times, if you are constrained to do something or you are forced to do something, maybe as a stopgap, right? I wanted to be a sportsman, but I became something else. I wanted to be an author, I became something else. It happens in life and nothing is wrong. It's a journey, right? We cannot forcefully change the path. We can always try to give our best. But many a times it will happen that you have to do something. And again, this is my personal opinion. You have to do something which you may not enjoy that well. What do you do about it? I think it's okay to do for a certain period. Okay. If it is something that you have to do, you do not have a choice, but you are still doing, as long as we are learning something out of it.
Yeah.
I don't think anything is a waste of time if you are doing it with your heart and if your eyes and ears are open for learning. I think nothing is waste of effort. What is bad actually, if you start doing something and you forget your past and you forget your original aspiration. That is not good in my eyes. What happens is many times, Jyotsna, we start with an aspiration. We
Yeah.
get into something,
Hmm.
and because of our so much pressure in working life and personal life, we tend to forget our original aspiration,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's wrong. That is something you should try to avoid,
Hmm.
because if you let it go inside under the cover,
Hmm.
then you are actually missing that the nice person inside you, which never came up, right, in real life. So my suggestion and request to the audience should be, even if you are to do something for a stopgap, do it. Do it as long as you think you are learning something. I think that's very important. But more important is your aspiration must not lie under the cover.
Okay.
You must ask yourself, is this something I always wanted to do? And there is nothing late, right? You should always try it back whenever you get time, right? I'll give one small example, maybe in a minute. My first job was as a mining engineer, Jyotsna. And I was a mining engineer by academics. And my first job was also a mining engineer. I was actually doing drilling and blasting in an underground mines for 1 year.
Okay.
And then I switched to information technology, right? Now you might ask me, so Prashanta, did you waste your time for the first year? Because in my span of 22 years of career, the first year was in mining, and the rest 21 plus years is in IT. If you ask me, did I just waste first year? I would say no.
No.
No, no, because that first year I enjoyed thoroughly. I was into a remotest place in a mining area where you do not see so much of modern age amenities. You don't see that,
Okay.
but the nature was beautiful. I was surrounded by nice hills around. And more importantly, I was working with some of the great colleagues and mentors. Now, in that first year, I got many professional guru in my life whom I respect a lot and whom I feel I learned a lot from those guys. And then I switched to IT. Now, when I switched to IT, that 1 year experience, how to deal with people, gave me a lot of additional benefits to manage people into information technology industry. So I think it doesn't matter whether at certain time you are a bit derailed. Even if you are derailed, as long as you are learning something and you are again bringing back your original aspiration, it's okay. It's okay. Nothing is lost forever.
Okay. Okay. You are an inspiration because your story is like kind of, moving, and your book is as well a moving.
Thank you. Thank you, Jatsna. Thank you.
So my next question to you.
Yeah.
So this is your first book, right? So how was your experience as a debut author, and have you faced any challenges in your journey?
Oh, that's a good one. Uh, See, anything that you do for the first time uh, is a lot of unknown. There's a lot of excitement though, right? And when I started writing my first book, I thought, this book will change the world.
Okay.
My book will change the world. But, you know, uh, we can be excited about many of our activities, accomplishment. Uh, but the thing is, when you come into the reality, right? My book experience, I would say, I just thought writing a book is all about an author spending time and writing something, and then someone else does the printing for you and someone else does the distribution for you.
Okay.
But then when I actually got into it, I could feel that there's a lot more than what is usually visible. Take the example of editing, formatting, someone else doing the cover page, right? Someone publishing in Kindle, someone printing, someone distributing, someone marketing. it's a huge team actually who does the work in the back end, right? So many people work with you to make the journey even better for you, right? I would say for me, it has been an amazing journey as a first-time author. I'm really thankful to some of the people who guided me a lot throughout the journey, because honestly, I did not know much about it before I started writing the book. I really could not ask for more, and I'm very, very grateful to those people who remained in the background and mostly gave their best to accomplish my goal, right? So I'm really thankful to them. In terms of experience, I would say the first time author, right? No one knows you. Who are you, right? In this big planet, you are just a dot, and you are not a celebrity. You are a common person. It's hard to believe that your first book will do great once it gets published. It's hard to believe, but I'm very fortunate in one angle that I have mostly a big professional network because of my career in information technology. Then I have a very big college network also. So naturally, it created a lot of interest in their mind. Hey, Prasanta has written something, right? And they mostly have seen me either as a college mate or as a colleague. They never looked into the other side of my life, being an author. It created a lot of interest. And today, when I look back, I feel really fortunate that some people took time to read my book, and I got a lot of feedback. People started calling me. They appreciated where they felt it is written in a nice way, but they also gave me strong feedback where they felt, Prasanta, this could be done in a different way. But if you see the kind of interest it has created, I'm completely amazed to see a simple writing a book brings so much of change in life. People look at you differently, right? You're same Prashant actually. Even before writing the book, I was like this, but it brings a lot of different perspective, a lot of expectation also for the next book. And I feel very happy when I see my childhood friend or college friend or some colleague, they bought the book from Amazon or somewhere, and they send me a picture with them that keeping the book in their hand. They sent picture that, hey, Prashanta, I also bought the book. It's very nice, and they give feedback. That's an amazing feeling, because then you start realizing that whatever nights you spend to write those few words and sentence in a book is really meaningful, and your readers, they could connect the dots. That's very important. And many people said, Prashant, it is very simply written. The English is very simple. Anyone can read and understand the content. And more importantly, many said, hey, this is my childhood story, as if as if I took their story.
Resonated with your story.
Yeah, so they could relate their own life, because it touches upon a lot on your childhood, school life, college life, your family, and that's very common, right, in everyone's life. So everyone started feeling that, hey, as if it is written with my story, and that made me feel very happy that at least people could connect the story with their life story.
Okay. So your writing journey is kind of, your starting writing journey is kind of nice, that you got a lot of appreciation with your family and friends. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
So my next question to you, why did you choose Invincible Publisher as your publisher?
That's a great question, Josna. So as I told you, it's my first book.
Yeah.
I really did not know anything about publishing.
Okay.
My knowledge was like, okay, I'm an author, I'm writing books, some publisher will come and they will take the take the notes, and the book will be published, and in every bookstall in the city you go, you will see my book. That was my imagination about writing the book, right? And then after I started few pages, right, I started thinking who should do the publishing. And I was a novice. In fact, today also, I don't know much about it. And I was thinking who should do that. So I was doing some Google search, trying to see who are the people in the market who can help. And then I felt I should go to someone who can guide me. I should go to someone who will do the editing, who will do the formatting, who will not just print a book, rather guide me throughout the journey. And I shortlisted a few names who are doing good in the industry. One of them is of course, Invincible.
Okay.
And I reached out to their representative. I told them that, hey, you know, I'm writing a book. Do you mind publishing it? And of course, I was very excited because this is the first time I'm writing a book, and I had a feeling that this book is going to change the world. so that person, he guided me that, Prasanta, it's a long journey, right? You just have written a couple of pages, but here are the steps, here are the things that we could support you. That's when I got to understand that, you know, that writing a book is not everything for the success of the book. There are many other things that happen in the background, editing, the book cover, the formatting, more importantly, the marketing, right? Very, very important. And the word of mouth is very important.
Yeah.
That's when I understood how the whole distribution chain works. And Invincible, to be honest, I went through their records, and it's very transparent, the way they manage it. There are very professional people who are very knowledgeable in the subject. I must not say I was always happy with Invincible. And let me be very honest to you. I'm not here to just, tell something for the sake of telling it. At times I felt, oh man, it's taking too much of time. But later I understood it takes time and I need to be patient, right? But overall, I must say, if you are a new author and you need someone to guide you, you need someone to show you the path,
Okay.
I think Invincible is the right place to be partner with. And they have some very passionate people, right? At times there are hiccups, you plus minus in life everywhere, but Invincible has some of the leaders, I would say, in that organization who really understand the emotion and sentiment of an author, right? They're very, very careful, and they're very caring as well. So I got a lot of guidance, honestly. I'm really thankful to Invincible for that.
Yeah, and I've heard people say that 20% is just your writing part, and the real work starts after the writing. The real work, actual real work, and it's a good thing that you got to know, good people in the publishing industry, and it's a very good start for you.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So my last question to you. You founded Narendrapur Pathshala Education Society, right? That works for rural kids to fulfill their dreams. What is your vision behind this initiative?
Yeah, so I founded this organization long back, I think 10 years back in 2011, right? I always feel that if you think you have to be very rich to start something, you will never be able to start.
Okay.
I always believe that everyone has a talent. It is just that they may not get the opportunity always, right? I always believed that. I felt even with my small capacity, I should start something.
Okay.
Right? And I felt even in the remotest places, there is a lot of talent. It is just that they not necessarily always get good support, mentoring, and encouragement. So my idea behind founding this, Narendrapur Pathshala Education was to connect the rural kids and understand what they think, how they react to certain situation, and what are the small things that we could offer, right, for them to learn and grow. And that's how I started. It was a fantastic experience when I started 10 years back. In fact, many people did not understand what I was talking that time. But when you start something good, na, Jyotsna, you will see there is obstacle. There is obstacle and challenges, but you will also see similar minded people coming in and extending their hand to help you. So same experience I also had for Pathshala. Yeah, it was a dream for me that I would contribute something for the society. And you think, right, you do something for a kid today, and after 10 years he still remembers you, that this guy, at least at the time of need, he helped me. But I would say Pathshala education is just one small initiative that I had taken up. But if you really read this book, there are many such concepts that I have tried to bring in. Back to Pathshala is just one of them. There are a lot of initiatives. Work YY Plus is one great initiative. Save Our Souls is another big initiative. So I've thought of many great initiatives in that book, and one by one, I'm really trying to achieve them. For example, I brought in the concept of chain of 10, and very relevant in today's context. Of course, I wrote that before pandemic. A chain of 10, I would like to spend maybe a minute, if you allow me, Jyotsna. It means when you are going through a difficult time, right? You look around in your society, in your family. You try to see who really needs help. Many a times, people need help, but they shy away in seeking help, right?
Yeah.
The chain of 10 concept said, you form a chain of 10 and try to pull up someone who really needs your support,
Okay.
right?
Togetherness and help each other.
Yeah, so you don't need to do two big things, because we are all small people, right? All very with limited capacity. But rather than getting frustrated about the system where people are suffering, we can just think of forming a chain of 10 where I will just think of 10 people around me.
Okay.
Is all 10 people good, doing good? Do they need any help? Do they need any support? Extend your support for them, right? Now think of a situation, everyone starts thinking of chain of 10. Jyotsna making a chain of 10, Prasanta making a chain of 10. Then it spreads, right? Then no one will be there outside the chain of 10. Everyone will fall in chain of 10, right? So that way, you don't need to do too many things, but you do small things in whatever capacity you do. Think of the people who are coming to your house for maid domestic help, right? You do something for them, right? That's all about chain of 10. So those are some of the small initiatives that I have spoken in the book. And when I see nowadays during the pandemic that there are many people are actually doing it, trust me, in our society sometimes we speak only negative things. This is not
But
right,
we have
that is not
seen
right.
all through the togetherness. People came up and help other who are needy.
Yes.
So yeah.
But if you really see, there are many people who are selflessly doing a lot of things for the society. And we should be very happy that in our society, there are people like that. I'll give you one small example. Recently, there was a cyclone in West Bengal. Yes. And before the cyclone, I went with my family to an island called Maushoni Island. It's near Sundarban Island.
Okay.
So we went there for a day and then came back to Hyderabad after some days. And then this Yash cyclone happened. It was having a devastating effect on the lives of on the island. Almost everything washed out.
Mhm.
Those poor people became homeless. They did not have any shelter. They did not have food. They did not have water.
Okay.
Right? So one fine day I was watching on TV and I got to know that same island is impacted. And God knows, I just called one of the person whom I knew. He's a young guy, maybe at the age of 25, very poor chap. I called him and to check, what's going on. And he said, sir, everything is gone. I said, what is gone? He said, this yes came, and everything is badly impacted. We don't have food, we don't have house, we don't have water, we don't have medicine, and it is a COVID period. So I said, okay, can I do something? He said, sir, what would you do? You are in Hyderabad, we are in Sundarban. You cannot do anything. Then I thought, let me talk to some of my colleagues in my information technology industry, some colleagues and some ex-colleagues. Trust me, Jyotsna, within a day, many people came forward. We started taking the contribution. I sent them the money over the internet. They got some monetary and financial support, and those 5-6 rural young boys who may not be that educated, who may not be that rich, who may not be that well off, after getting that moral support and a bit of financial support, they arranged for lunch of the villagers for 10 consecutive days for almost 500 to 600 people every day. See, I was just a mediator maybe. I'm not saying I did something, but what I'm trying to say is when in time of need, one person comes forward, I can tell you for guarantee that there are 1,000 people who will follow you. There are very lot of akas in this society. And more importantly, think of these village kids, village young boys, the way they manage the whole program for 10 days. See, food for 10 days is not a big thing. And I'm not at all proud of that. But what I'm really proud of for two things. One, during the need, my friends, my network came forward to help. That's number one good thing. Number two is this simple support, small support from our side made those villagers so energetic, bonded, and the way they work like a team in that difficult time is something that you really have to watch out. I think at times a bit of moral support, encourage people a lot. It might be more important than maybe a lakh of rupees of check. At times, a simple moral support, a simple phone call brings a lot of magic in our life.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah. So that's all I'm trying to say is, Narendrapur Pathshala Education Society is just one thing. But I think the way I'm thinking, it is gradually spreading, and I'm very fortunate to have a very strong friends and colleagues network. And we are doing small things, but it is definitely bringing a lot of positive change in the society. And the way I see a lot of people doing good things in the society nowadays, it just encourages me to do my part. So that's mostly about it.
It's a good thing that people are helping, each other and coming up to help those in need, and you are doing the same thing, working towards needy people. And last year it become, too much, like people are coming up and saying like, I want to help them, I want to, give them money and food. And I think this is just a small step, to working towards a change, bring a change in our society. And you are one of the them that you are working towards, social change. And thank you so much, sir. It is a very, inspiring and a wonderful interview with you. And I'm glad I took your interview and I got to know very good things about you and about your book and about the specifically life. So thank you so much. And we are so privileged to have it today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jyotsna.